Good morning, everybody. It's 9 o'clock, so we're going to get started with our webinar this morning. Thank you so much for coming. We're excited about this webinar because it's a great topic. It's ticket templates, and it's something we like going over because we get so many questions about it because it is so underutilized but so useful. So we're excited to get into that topic. But first of all, I'm going to tell you about a couple things. First of all, we love to thank you. We love to thank our customers. Tell a friend about Everything Help Desk. You'll get $50 when the qualified referral sees a demo, $200 when they purchase. We've had some success with this referral program since we've implemented it, and we're really excited to see where it goes. And so send your referrals to info@grouplink.net, or you can call 801-335-0700, our general number, and speak to any one of us, and we'd love to send you that thank you. I also add that, so much of our business comes from people telling other people about the Everything Help Desk, and so we just figured, why not, if we're getting those referrals, why not track it so we can, reward those people that are sharing our product. So we'd love to do that. We'd also like to tell you about our partner, Sky Central. It's a cloud-delivered self-service portal that automates processes to fill the most common user request services. You can automate business process and leverage your investment in Active Directory and the Configuration Manager, SCCM. We're really excited about this. It has some great features: password reset, hardware requests, software requests, Active Directory management, link to create help desk incidents, and link to knowledge bases. Automating these processes that are the most common. So many benefits. It's cloud delivered, easy to use, reduces calls and increases productivity, improves end user satisfaction, and it does provide an audit trail with reporting capabilities. It's going to be a great product. We're really excited for it. It's launching soon, and we'd love for you to be a beta tester. So sign up at skycentral.com. I guess that would be hashtag sign up. So sign up to test the beta if you so desire. Amy, if you could post that link in the chat box, that'd be great. Amy's going to throw that link in the chat box in case you want to check that out. And so now we get to our presentation. I'm going to be presenting today first, and then Amy is going to present second. She's our Marketing Communications Coordinator, so we're your two presenters today. We're happy to be here. I am going to pull up the agenda. We have a couple different things to cover here: tying assets to ticket templates, creating an automated workflow process, automatically launching a ticket or a set of tickets, and quickly and easily launching a quick ticket for common issues. Now, I'd like to remind you that after each webinar, we always have, or after the presentation section of the webinar, we always have a Q&A session. We always have a question and answer session. And so if you have questions, go ahead and submit them, and we will always get to them at the end. However, I'd like to remind everybody that we do get a lot of questions. It's so much easier for us if you put them in the Q&A box instead of the chat box. So when you have questions, please, please, please type them into the Q&A box and send them that way instead of the chat box. When you do that, it's easier for us to see what questions we've answered and whatnot, because they're meant for us to cross them off as we answer them. So if you could submit them into the Q&A box, that would be fantastic. You can go ahead and do that anytime you have a question, and we will always get to them after the presentation. All right, then. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's talk ticket templates for a sec. Ticket templates are a fantastic feature of the help desk. However, we feel like they're very underutilized. And it's funny, we were talking when we were deciding what to do the webinar on this month. It seems like we always bring up ticket templates because we get so many questions on them, and we thought to ourselves, well, I swear we've just done that. Well, then we looked back, and it had been more than a year since we covered ticket templates, and so wow, we decided, why don't we do it again? They're such a great feature. They can save you so much time, and they're amazing because they're so versatile. You can do so many different things with them. However, like we said, they're just so underutilized. So many people don't use them. Well, what's that? And so we'd like to show you ticket templates in detail today, how to use them, what they are, and I'm going to go ahead and start by talking about a simple example of a ticket template. Now let's pretend that I am a teacher or any other end user, and my printer has run out of ink. I'm going to go ahead and log in as a user. Instead of creating a ticket, I'm going to click right here, Ticket Templates, Printer out of ink. Bam, it pulls it right up. Make any final edits to each ticket before launching. And so this is a template that's been created. And you'd also, I'm just using one example, but you'd have a bunch of different common issues. Printer out of ink is a pretty common issue. We don't have to create a whole new ticket. So all this stuff is already filled in. Please refill the ink with printer, the subject line, the category option, the assignment, if there's somebody that always gets the same assignment to refill the printer, the location, the contact, it's all done for us. The only thing we need to do, and you'll see is if I click launch, it'll tell me, oh no, please fill in the room number. We need to know where the printer is. So I would just simply go, I'm in room, let's say 58. Save those changes. Launch that ticket. It's done. It's just that easy. It's so simple. We don't have to create a new ticket. We have those common ticket templates, and so if you go right here, you'd see, we put in another example here, reset username and password, but you see that, these common issues, they're so easy. I'd go ahead and click on this just to show you. Pull it up. There it is, category and category option filled in. Here are the steps to reset your username and password. It's already pulled right up. And so these ticket templates are just fantastic. Now, I'm going to show you, now I'm going to sign out, and I'm going to sign in as the administrator. Now that I showed you from the user perspective, and now I'm going to show you from the end user perspective, where it came from. Now, here's the ticket template screen in the ticket templates tab. IT, printer out of ink. That's the one I just used. I'm going to click Edit Ticket Template, and you see that this is a simple example. This is like at the most basic level what you can do with ticket templates. It's just a simple issue, printer out of ink. We're like, oh, we get this all the time. We want to make sure that, all these tickets are the same coming in. It's just an easy thing. Click, printer out of ink, bam, submits it, we go fill it. It doesn't have to be more complicated than it needs to be, and so we create this template. And we filled it all in, and there it is. There's only one ticket. Okay. Now, that's the first example of a ticket template. That's the easiest, way to use it. It's just a simple, quick issue that we've taken care of. Now, I'd like to show you something a little more complex. I'm going to go back to the main ticket template screen. For this next example, I'm going to use this one. You'll see in IT, this printer out of ink only had one ticket. I'm going to go to this example that we've set up under Human Resources, a new hire, 15 tickets. Okay, it's a little more complex, a little more complicated. It's not a simple, quick thing, but it's something that recurs nonetheless. That's what they have in common, if you know what I'm saying. A printer will always run out of ink. You'll have to refill it. A new hire situation is one that will come up. Eventually we're going to hire new people. It's something that happens over and over. We do have a process when we do it. Let's automate that process with a ticket template. Okay, I'm going to go into it now using the edit, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is an example of a little more complex ticket template. Now, this is designed to streamline and automate our new hire process. So, if we're hiring a new person, instead of creating all these tickets and thinking, oh, what all has to be done, I go to this ticket template and I launch it, and look at all the things that it has. Okay, so first of all, set up workstation. This is the facilities and maintenance group. It has the category option and the assignment filled in. And it says, please set up a desk and chair for our new employee. That's the first thing we need. We go to the next ticket, computer. This is IT group, and this is important. I'd like to point this out. Set up workstation, facilities, and maintenance. Computer in IT. This ticket template is across multiple departments. It's an important feature. We don't, with some of these more complex things like, setting up a completely new person to work at our company, it's not just one department. It's multiple departments, and you can do that with ticket templates. You can integrate multiple departments into one workflow. And so now we go down the line. We need our computer set up. We need the power set up. A phone, office supplies. Please ensure our new employee has the proper office supplies, pens and pencils, paper, calculator, scissors, rubber bands, paper clips, sticky notes. We filled all that in. Software setup. Please install the software needed. We need GroupWise. We need Microsoft Office. We need Adobe Reader. We need accounts created for them, an email creation. We need them into the directory and time card setup. Collect all forms, and then if we go down, we're even into the human resources now. Trained. We need them trained. Contact appropriate personnel for new employee training. Ensure that all training materials are ready. So, again, multiple departments. We've gone facilities and maintenance, IT. Now we're into human resources. We're all working together on this. Please train them on the policies, train them on the job, and then manager's final approval. That's 15 tickets. Now you also think, well, all those things don't need to be done at the same time. If we come over to this tab right here, workflow. This is the other great thing about ticket templates. It's going to make sure that everything is done in the order it needs to be done. So we see here, step 1, the workstation and the power. That's first of all. Do we have a chair? Do we have a desk? And is there power there? All right, now once those tickets are set to resolved, it's going to go to step 2, send out all these tickets. Phone, office supply, and computer. Set all that up. Once these are resolved, step 3, accounts creation and software setup. Once these are in progress, launch step 4, and it's going to do these 3 things. So those are in progress, fill out the forms, and then finally these. Once all those are resolved, manager's final approval. So it's not just going to send out 15 tickets at the same time. And so, you wouldn't get somebody getting a ticket, oh, please train the new employee, when there's no workstation set up, they haven't even come into the office yet. It's going to make sure that everything's done on time. And it's going to automatically start everything for you. So you don't have to say, all right, is everything set up? All right, now I need to ask the facilities department to get supplies. Okay, do we have all the supplies? All right, now I need to get the human resources to train. So this is just an example of what you can do with a more complex ticket template. Obviously, the last one was just 1 ticket. This one's 15, a bunch of steps. And so this is, I think, ticket templates at its best. It's going to save you so much time doing these things, automating these things that you would have to create these tickets for every single time and manage. And this is just going to do it all for you automatically. It's very nice. I'm going to go back to the main screen. I'm just going to show you kind of how that one came about. We're going to click New Ticket Template. Name, New Hire. I'll just call this New Hire 2 so I don't duplicate a name. Now, this box is important. Mark is private. Now, ticket templates that are public can be launched by anyone. And so, obviously, an example of that would have been the printer out of ink. If anybody runs out of ink, they should be able to launch that template real quick. You wouldn't want to make that one private. Anybody should be able to do that. New hire, one that you'd probably want to mark as private. I mean, you'd only have, a couple people in your company that would launch that ticket template. It's not like some random end user is going to come in and launch the ticket template for new hire. That would be like the human resources manager or something like that. So that's an important distinction. If we want to mark them as private, not everybody can launch them. So this one I would want to make sure that box is checked. I would want to mark it as private. Save changes. Now it brings you back to the screen, and you can just start creating tickets. So I would right-click here, add new template. This one I'm going to say set up workstation. Save changes. Now this is where I can fill out all those screens. So I select the group, facilities and maintenance. And I can fill in the contact, the category, everything that you just saw in those other tickets. And then I can fill out the subject line and the note, instructing people what to do. Please set up a workstation for our new hire. The other great thing is when you're launching ticket templates, you can set up, it'll say, make any final edits before launching. And so maybe you know where the new hire is going to be, and you can put that information in before you launch the template. So if I pull it up, I would say, I make sure to put in the subject line, or maybe I create a custom field, room number, so everybody knows the location we're talking about. Hey, we hired this new teacher. He's going to be in room 206, or something like that. Okay, so we've had the first example of doing a ticket template just for a simple common issue. Had the second example of something a little more complex. However, there's still other things that we need to go over. And Amy I'm going to turn the time over to you right now. Hello.
Hi, Keaton.
How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
All right, good. I pass the ball over to you.
Okay, so the next type of ticket template I'm going to discuss with you is going to be for a recurring issue. So this is something that you do, it could be on a weekly basis, could even be once a year, and you just want to automate the process. It helps so that you remember to do it. You don't have to go in like at the end of the year every year and go through a list of things that you need to do, or every month at the end of the month maybe there's something that you do, and this will just automate that so that you don't have to do or to start the process manually. Let me just go into my first example here of updating the server. So this is something that we have set up in this example to do every 2 months. So this is very flexible. You could do it daily, recurring every other day, every 3 days. You could do it weekly, on Mondays and Fridays, every 3 weeks. But for this example, we have it set up to run every second Wednesday of every 2 months. So as you can see, this is very customizable. It's very flexible on what type of recurrence pattern you can set. You can also select down here the date to start the reoccurrence. So I'm going to start it today, and then you can say end after. Maybe this is something that you only need to do 3 times. Then you could put in the number of occurrences, or you could say, well, this is only going to happen for 2 months, so I'm going to put in an end by date. But you can always come in and stop the reoccurrence. So typically we just suggest that you push end never unless you know that it's something that you need to end after a certain number of times or by a certain date. So that's how easy it is to set up the recurrence. And then once you do that, you can just save changes. You'll see the Save Successful down here. And then back here on your ticket templates page, there's this little icon on the right. When it looks like this, the process is not running, but you just click on this play button, and now it's running. So now every 2 months on, I believe it was the first Wednesday or second Wednesday, I don't remember what we had it set for, of every 2 months, now this ticket template will launch. But let me just show you real quickly how we have this set up. We do have this ticket template set for a specific server. So you can see here we have the asset tied to this ticket template, and it's actually tied to each ticket within the template. Now this is just very easy to do as you're setting it up, as long as the group has the asset tracker tied to it, whether it's the internal asset tracker or ZenWorks Asset Manager. As long as you have that activated in the group, then you'll have the asset field appear here on your ticket template. And you can just click search, and it will, well, I already have one in here, but you could always clear the filtering and search, and all of your assets will appear here. Or if you know some of the specific details, you can put some of those in here and search for your specific assets. And then once you have it, you just click on this green plus arrow, and that will attach it to the ticket and the ticket template. Now, once you've updated any of your tickets when you're setting up ticket templates, you want to make sure to push the Save Template button before moving on to another one. Otherwise, it will not save your changes that you've made in your ticket within the template. Okay, now as Keaton mentioned, there is also the workflow, and we do have workflow set up for this template because there's a few things you need to do in certain orders. For example, you want to schedule the downtime and download the updates first before you create the backups, and then you can install the updates. And as he mentioned earlier, this is going to launch. This Create Backups is going to launch once these first two are set to work in progress. This is very easy to change and customize for whatever works best for you. Maybe these first two need to be resolved first before you create the backups. Now let me back up 1 second. When you're first setting up your ticket templates, all of your tickets that are back here on this screen, they're going to appear over here in this left-hand column, and they'll just appear in order here. So all you have to do is you can just drag them and drop them into the step that you need. And then as you scroll to the bottom, on the last box, there will be a box to add. This is how you add an extra step. So if there's another step down here that you need to put tickets in, you can add it here. Then once you've made these changes, you have them all in the right steps and the right statuses in between steps, you just click on the Save Changes button and that will save it. The other very important step in setting up your workflow is this checkbox right here, Enable Workflow. If this is not checked, then your workflow will not be activated, and your tickets will all launch at one time. So if you do want them to launch in a workflow type of process so that some launch before others, you do need to check this box right here. Okay, I think that is all for this example. And I do have just one other example that kind of ties everything together. Just another example that shows a lot of different things that we've already talked about today. But I wanted to show you one more example, and it's actually in the transportation department, the tire rotation. So this is, again, something that's going to happen on a recurring basis. We want it to launch the 5th day of every 4 months because we do, for this example, we do need the tires rotated on our vehicles every 4 months. We do also have, let me actually show you how this is set up first. So we have a ticket here where we are scheduling the technician. We need to schedule the vehicle so that it's not, supposed to be scheduled on a field trip or something like that day. And then once we have it scheduled, we take it in, we rotate the tires, we inspect the vehicle, and then we notify the driver that their vehicle is done and ready to be picked up. So again, this is something that's very important. We do need to have a workflow process for this. And this one's pretty simple to see the workflow. Obviously, you want to schedule the vehicle before you actually rotate the tires. You need to rotate the tires before you can inspect it, and you need to inspect it before you notify the driver. I think that's pretty obvious. We do also have this demo set up so that we have vehicles in our asset tracker. So for this example, we do not have, let me go back to edit here. We do not have the asset set up here, but I want to show you a couple of other ways that you can set up or that you can tie the asset to a ticket template. So in the server example, I showed you how to do it here when you set up the ticket template. You can also, let me go back here to the screen and launch this template. You can also tie the asset to the ticket when you launch the ticket template. So let's say it's a district office car that we need. You just click the green plus button and it's here. And then you click Save Changes. And obviously I haven't filled in all the required information. But you would need to do this for each of your individual tickets if you want the asset tied to each ticket. And then make sure you save each individual ticket before you click the Launch button. And there is one other way that you can tie your assets to ticket templates, and that's after they have already been launched. So you can do it 3 different ways. You can do it when you're setting up the ticket template, you can do it when you're launching the ticket template, or you can tie an asset to the ticket template after it has been launched. So let me just really quickly find that printer out of ink ticket that Keaton showed earlier. And I'm going to actually go into the ticket here and select the asset. So this is the printer that is out of ink, and I just want to attach the asset there. So it's that simple to tie assets to ticket templates. The only time that you cannot tie the assets to ticket templates is when they are being launched on a routine basis. So in the example of the tire rotation, since it's set on a recurrence and it's going to launch every 4 months, it will launch automatically and it will not have any assets tied to it at that time. When it launches, it will look basically just like you have it set up when it's set on a recurrence pattern. So in this case, you would need to go in afterwards and tie the asset to the ticket if that's what you want to do. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to show from the asset side. You can, although I didn't actually save that ticket, so let me go back here. One second. Let me actually go back into this ticket and save that asset on and tie it to the ticket and then actually save it this time so that I can show you. Let me just make sure. Okay, so yes, that asset is now tied to that ticket. Okay, so from the asset side, when you pull up the asset, so this is the one that had the printer out of ink that we tied to it, you can also see the associated tickets. And this will include ticket templates. So you can see here ticket number 117 that we just tied it to, printer out of ink. So you can see trends of tickets and also of ticket templates. And they'll just all appear here in this list. Okay, so I think, Keaton, that was all that I was covering for today. So if there are any questions, we can probably go ahead and take those now.
Thank you so much, Amy. That was great. Yes, there have been some questions. However, I'd like to just take a quick break right now, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, just to give everybody a chance to type those in really quick and so they can pay attention when we start answering. And so if you have any questions, we've seen a couple already come in, please go ahead and at this time type them into the Q&A box. Oh, there comes another one. Okay, so type them into the Q&A box, not the chat box, and we'll give you about 30 or 60 seconds to do that, and then we will start answering them all. in the chat. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you. We have a couple, actually a lot more come in. So we're going to start answering those now. One I'm going to get out of the way real quick. Somebody asked, how can we access the link to this video? We have it on our website. We will send it out. We always send out the recordings after the webinars have been completed for everybody who attended the webinar. Okay, so let me start with the first question that came in. This is from Brandon. Can you have variables in ticket templates? For instance, for the new hire ticket template, could you have it so you type in the employee's name and it fill in all the tickets? I'm going to share my desktop. Okay, Brandon, the answer to this question is unfortunately no, you can't have just any variable that will fill in automatically across all tickets. However, you can copy the contact. You see I clicked launch for this, and right by the contact, there's a button right here. And if you hover over that, it says copy this contact to all sub-tickets. This, we believe, is the only thing that can be copied to all sub-tickets. And yeah, let's see, the button doesn't come up there. So as of right now, the contact is the only thing that can be easily copied to all sub-tickets automatically. Okay, now I'm going to pass it over to Amy to answer a couple questions.
Okay, the next question from Randy. In your tire rotation workflow example, it looks like you have the top level tire rotation template set as step 1. How does that affect the workflow for the other sub-tickets? Let me show that to you real quick so that so you can also see what I'm talking about. Okay, so in this tire rotation example, he's talking about right here, we have the parent ticket of tire rotation and then sub-tickets, scheduled technician, scheduled vehicle. The parent-child relationship in a ticket template should work just the same as a parent-child relationship outside of a ticket template, which means that your child tickets all need to be marked as closed before your parent ticket can be marked as closed. So you do also want to remember that in the workflow setup so that you aren't saying your tire rotation ticket here in step 1 needs to be, you wouldn't want to say that it needs to be closed before your other tickets will launch, because it's not going to work that way because your other tickets need to be closed first since they are children tickets. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You could also set it up so that they're all individual tickets and don't have a parent-child relationship. But whichever way makes more sense in your process is how I would suggest that you set it up. Also, just real quickly, the way that you set these up, if you want a ticket that is on this first level here, you right-click on the templates and add new template. And then, so that's on the same level as the ticket for tire rotation. And then to create a sub-ticket under this one, like these ones are, you right-click on this ticket and add new template here. Okay, so then you can see this is a sub-ticket. Test 2 is a sub-ticket for test 1. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you have any more questions about that, let me know and I can try and address those.
All right, thanks, Amy. Okay, I got another question here that says, where do the field choices for the templates come from? Is there a way to create your own fields? Yes, there is. Custom fields are a great feature of the help desk. I won't go over them in detail right now. We do have a couple different webinars that have gone over that, and I can send that to you. And let's see who has asked this question. It is Shannon. And I can send this to you. However, I'm going to show you this real quick, and for everybody else who might want to know how to do this. I'm going to log into the help desk as an admin. I'm going to click on Settings, and then on the left, Custom Field Setup. You can see here we have a list of custom fields we've created. To create a new custom field, you're going to just click this button right here. You could label it. I could type in room number, and then a field type. It could be a text field. It could be a text area, radio button, checkbox, number, text field, date. So say, for example, if I wanted to, say that I'll use the printers out of ink example, and I could do type of ink, and then I could do drop down, and then down here I could click in, black. Which kind of ink is it out of? Yellow, cyan, that weird color that I don't know how to pronounce. Yeah, and then you can make it required or not required. And then you can also over here select what groups and categories and category options it comes up under. For example, for this type of ink, custom field I just created, obviously this would be hardware and printer. So that whenever anybody opened up a ticket or in a ticket template used a ticket that was under this group, IT, this category, hardware, and this category option, printer, it would make this drop-down required. Type of ink. Tell us what type of ink it is. And so a ticket wouldn't be submitted without that. Obviously, there's a lot more you can do with custom fields, a lot more I could show. But just to answer that question, yes, you can create custom fields. That's how you do it. If you have any more questions about that, let us know. I'd like to point out that as we get to more questions and answering, we're still working our way through them. Make sure that you check back with the Q&A box. There are some that if we do answer out loud, there's a little message that pops up that says it's been answered verbally. But sometimes we'll type in the answers to the questions. For instance, the question about the link to the video, that link was typed in the answer field. So make sure you check back to make sure that, if we type back a question, an answer to you, you can see that.
Okay, I had a question here. Jackie is wondering what school districts are using this. And I did notice that we have several school districts on this webinar today. So if you are a school district and you are using the ticket templates feature, you can go ahead and put that in the Q&A and just let us know so that way we can get a few examples and yeah, so let's see who's using ticket templates right now. And again, if you are not a school district, we're still interested. So just let us know if you're using ticket templates right now and if basically how they're working out for you. If you need help improving them or if you're loving them, basically just let us know how it's going.
Okay, we have a question here that says, is everything help desk browser agnostic? I like that phrase. I noticed Firefox and Google Chrome browsers were used for this demo. Any special configuration needed to set up correctly on these browsers? The answer is yes, the Everything Help Desk works on any browser. It works in Internet Explorer, it works on Chrome, it works on Mozilla Firefox, it works on Safari. It works on any browser, so yes, I suppose it is browser agnostic. However, I would add, though, if you update your browsers, it's more likely to work the best. We always optimize the help desk to work with the current versions of the browsers.
Okay, we had a question here. When creating a template, is it possible to include the notify checkboxes, technician, user, CCBC, like is shown when creating a new ticket? I don't believe you can edit those. I'm not seeing it anyways as I'm kind of walking through that right now. I don't think you can change those from the default that is set up when you launch the ticket template. However, when you edit tickets, you also, I'm sure you've noticed that you do have those checkboxes there when you edit a ticket, so that will still be there when they are basically after they have been launched when they're an actual ticket. But you don't have that option when setting up the ticket template.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. If we have not answered your question, we've answered all the questions that we've received out loud, and there's a couple we're still typing in responses to and following up with. So if you haven't heard the answer out loud to your question, just check in the Q&A box in the chat in the next couple minutes. Just stay on with us for a couple minutes, and we will answer those. However, we are going to end the verbal portion of the webinar right now. We always would like to remind you to connect with us. We have a Facebook page, a LinkedIn page, a Twitter account, and a Google Plus account. We love interacting with our customers, and we feel like it richly rewards us. So please get on there and connect with us. We are always interested in what you have to say about our services and our product. Thank you so much for attending today. I hope that you guys have a great day. If you have any more questions, you can stay a couple minutes and chat with us over the Q&A box. And we hope that this has been a good experience for you guys and that you've learned a little bit more about how to leverage the help desk and about ticket templates. So thank you so much. Have a great day. And again, those of you who still need follow-up, make sure you stay on with us. We'll still be on here answering your questions in the chat and Q&A boxes. Thank you. Bye-bye.